Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chuck. I make videos for NBA, make videos, just for NBA right now, and Prize Picks. I guess I can say that now. But all these videos they get posted on the subreddit. I'll have this link down below. You can ask me questions about the slate, anything you need up until lock. I got you guys. So that'll be linked down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right there. So let's take a look at my lineup from the night before we get into the slate tomorrow. And I made some of my buy-ins back tonight, but my whole lineup just lost minutes. Kyle Anderson got hurt. Dante DiVincenzo blowout. Dennis Schroeder blowout. DeJounte Murray blowout. Anthony Edwards got injured. Miles McBride, I believe he played in a blowout anyway. I don't really think that mattered. Um, Actually, most of them did. I mean, Tom Thibodeau is just a psycho. But yeah, made some of my money back. My core today, my core did pretty solid. DeJounte Murray, core play. Anthony Edwards, core play. Miles McBride, core play. Kyle Anderson, core play. I originally had Moses Moody as a core play, and then I swapped it to Anthony Edwards. So if you want to count that as well as five, did pretty well outside of Kyle Anderson getting injured. But yeah, sports books went very, very well. But yeah, if you're looking for more in-depth content where I give you guys cores, sports books, prize picks, night slate, showdown content, all the good stuff, I'll have my Discord link down below. If you played the prize picks plays from the video last night, we swept, so that was nice too. All right, let's get into the slate. Really good spot here for Dallas. I mean, yeah, overall, Luka going to be one of the best spin ups on the slate right now. Good spot here going up against Toronto. Him, Jokic, 1A, 1B for me right now. But we do have some really, really good mid-range plays. We have Kawhi Leonard. We have James Harden in a fantastic spot. We have to keep an eye on the Pels news. Like, it's going to really depend on what you want to do. But if you're spending all the way up, it's either Luka or Jokic for me. So, yeah, Luka's always going to be a great play no matter the slate. Kyrie Irving's price is kind of at a price point where I'd rather just spend up for Luka if you can try to get the money for him. I think he's priced appropriately. And then I'm going to keep saying it, like PJ Washington's usage rate on this team is just really, really bad because you just have Luka and Kyrie Irving just chucking the ball. I think that price point on PJ Washington is a bit much. He have a good game tonight? Why did they up his price point? No, he did not. But the good thing with him, going to play big minutes, but that's about it. Gafford, Lively, they'll kind of split the center minutes, even though Gafford barely played tonight. They went to some more Maxi Kleber, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm not going to touch any of the bigs here. Josh Green should play low 20s minutes to around 30 minutes. Don't think I'm going there either. We'll just have much better value. Played 30 minutes tonight. So there's just not enough usage to go around on this team outside of Luka and Kyrie Irving. So yeah, pretty unappealing outside of Luka there for me at the top. Moving on to Toronto. So the big news to watch here is Jakob Poeltl. If he's out, I would expect Kelly Olynyk to start. If he starts, he stands out as one of the best value plays on the slate. Good point per minute guy, about a fantasy point per minute guy. I would expect him to have to play big minutes, like the matchup here up against Dallas as well. So he would stand up, yeah, as one of the best value plays on the slate. And then I like the main guys here once again. Even Scotty Barnes at 9-2, I think is very, very safe. I would say he's probably getting to the price point to where I think he should be. But yeah, going to play close to 40 minutes. He's their go-to guy. He's stuffing the stat sheet. His potentials have been way up as well with his potential assists as well. You can see he's stuffing the stat sheet a bit more. So I still have interest in Scotty, even at that price point. RJ Barrett, we know he has a ceiling. I would say quickly is probably the safer between the two, but RJ Barrett does have a ceiling, just a bit of a lower floor, right? But I think they're both decent options. And then we kind of already went over Kelly Olynyk. And then if you need a value play, Gary Trent's minutes right now have been decently secure, playing over 30 minutes in pretty much every game. It just comes down to if he hits your shots. I would say he's priced right, but you guys know the drill with him. Like there's guys in this price range I'd much rather play, but he's still in play. We have Norm Powell. Like Norm Powell is just a much better play than Gary Trent tomorrow, right? Possibly Kelly Olynyk. Scroll down a bit. I like Zaire Williams because they don't have Conchard, they don't have Kennard, right? So yeah, there's definitely better plays I'd rather play than Gary Trent on this slate. All right, so CJ McCollum was out tonight. Brandon Ingram got hurt, but he did return. Just keep an eye on the injury report here for the Pelicans. Let me see if it got updated. If Underdog put anything out. Last I checked, they did not. Mike Muscala. So, yeah, if everyone's healthy, I mean, it's a really, really good spot here. So, like, I like the main guys, especially Zion Williamson at 8.3K. He's a really, really good play, even if everyone plays here. It's just a minutes thing. Earlier in the year, he wasn't playing as many minutes. And now, his minutes have upticked very, very up. Really good spot here up against the Pacers. So I'm pretty high on Zion. Either way, if nobody's out here tomorrow, he would probably be my favorite, but like Ingram's fine. I would say CJ's probably priced right. Herb Jones would be overpriced. Trey Murphy would be out of play for me. I'm not going to touch anyone else here, though. Now, if we get a situation again where like CJ McCollum's out, then yeah, there's a good amount to like. I really like Zion, really like Ingram. Trey Murphy would be decent. Herb Jones would be priced right. I think I prefer Trey Murphy. Najee Marshall got a ton of run tonight. Now, we did gain a couple minutes in the blowout, and I want to say a little bit from Ingram going to the locker room, but he still was on pace to play over 20 minutes. You could go there, it's fine. Then you see like Hawkins, Ryan get some run. If we get a situation, like I said, it's a back-to-back, I would expect him to play. We'll see, but keep it on the injury report. But yeah, just going to go over if Seed is in or out. Moving on to the Pacers. Not a good spot here. We have to keep an eye on Neesmith. If Neesmith is out, you're going to continue to see massive, massive minutes for Benedict Mathurin. I still think he's a good play if Neesmith's out. Just playing huge minutes right now. We know the ceiling he has. Now, this game was definitely a bit of an outlier. But yeah, it's going to be pretty high usage on this team. It's actually kind of crazy. I was looking at his point per minute with Siakam and Haliburton. It's actually still pretty good. So I still think Mathurin's solid play, even at that price point. If Neesmith remains out, if Neesmith's in, it's just going to hurt like Nembhard, Mathurin, the wings. I think Haliburton's fine. Not the best spot here going up against the Pelicans. Minutes probably plays around 34. Had a really, really bad game. I guess that'll kind of drop the ownership. Kind of like I always like him, Tyrese Maxey, when the teams are to themselves. I mean, Tyrese Haliburton always has the team to himself. He's their highest usage player, right? But yeah, definitely interested in Haliburton for tournaments. I would say probably the Clippers guys look a bit better point per dollar, but yeah, I like Anthony Edwards once again. He got hurt tonight. We'll see what happens with him. Siakam at AK is priced right, and then not going to touch. If you want to go to like a TD McConnell, she'll play around 20 minutes, really good point per minute. I'm sure better value will open up, but it's at least playable in large field tournament stuff. But I don't think I'm going to go to much else here. I think it's mainly just Haliburton, Mathurin. Turner's not playing enough for me right now to go to him. Nembhard, I think I'd rather just play Mathurin. And if Neesmith's in, it's going to hurt everyone else, or hurt the wings and Nembhard. Moving on to Cleveland here. Not a good spot here going up against Chicago. This is probably the worst game environment on the slate. Two teams that play really, really slow. Cavs, one of the best defensive teams in the league as well. So as far as like a game environment and pace rankings go, this is definitely going to be one of the worst spots on the slate. Still have interest in Donovan Mitchell at 9.4K just because he's going to lead the team in usage and absolutely chuck. It's literally just, Donovan Mitchell, give him the ball, get out of the way. That's the Cavs offense, right? So I still have interest in Mitchell. I'm not going to go out of my way to prioritize him. He'll probably be really low owned tomorrow. He still has a ceiling in tournaments. I'm still okay with it. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, have these guys been playing back-to-backs? Yeah, okay, they have been. Off their limits, think they're fine plays, not standouts in this spot. Same with Darius Garland. I don't know. I know Max Strus had a big game tonight. I'm not going to chase that. So, yeah, Cavs, pretty unappealing to me. And then on the Chicago side, so I think this is a spot where Andre Drummond could start here. I also think it's, even if he doesn't start, that there's a good chance he just plays decent minutes off the bench. So if that's the case, Ayo Dosunmu is going to get his minutes absolutely slashed if you think Andre Drummond starts here, or if Andre Drummond plays big minutes off the bench. The guy that's going to get slashed here is Ayo Dosunmu. So if Andre Drummond starts, I absolutely love him at 5.2K. I still like him in this matchup because I think he's going to have to play. They kind of like doing that double big lineup against bigger teams. Cav, a bigger team. So just be a little bit careful here with Ayo Dosunmu. I think there's a good chance that they do go to more Drummond in this spot. And like I said, if he starts, he looks amazing. That would hurt Vooch. So if, Drummond starts alongside Vooch, that would hurt Vooch a bit. DeMar White, they're fine. Tough matchup. Don't love it. And then not a fan of Io because I do think they go to more Drummond here, so I'm not too big of a fan of Io. Cruz is safe at 5-2, but don't love much else. Yeah, this game definitely pretty unappealing. Moving on to Memphis here. Not a good spot here going up against Minnesota, but we do have Luke Kennard out. We have Contra doubtful. So we'll keep an eye on who they start. I would expect it to be Derrick Rose. Goodwin's basically been out of the rotation. I know he signed a 2-way contract, but assuming Derrick Rose starts, I really like Derrick Rose at 3.4K. Zaire Williams, I think, is decent value of 4.5K. He's going to have to play a decent amount. G.G. Jackson should chuck off the bench. He might have to play a bit more. I don't mind him at 4.7. Aldama, minutes been up, down, but still does have a ceiling. And then we know Vince, Jaren, they're going to kind of run the offense, do a bit of everything for this team. I think the main standouts are the value here for me, like Zaire, Derrick Rose. So those are the main standouts there for me. Moving on to Minnesota, so keep an eye on the injury report here for Minnesota. But if we get like Cat out once again and we get Kyle Anderson out, they could start Nas. I guess they could go smaller, move like NAW in the starting lineup, something like that maybe. But if Kyle Anderson and Cat are both out, then I absolutely love Rudy Gobert once again. I loved him today. I played him today. Would love him again. I love Anthony Edwards at 8.9K. Mike Conley's fine. McDaniels gets bumped. I think he's a decent value. And then Naz Reid would look really, really good at 5.5K. Would really like him if both those guys are out. If we get, everyone in, then, I still think Ant's a pretty good play. I like both the bigs. Just a really good spot for both the bigs. Not going to play Nas at that price point. Not going to play Kyle. Wouldn't love much else. So keep an eye on the injury report there. If they're both out, there's definitely going to be some really, really good plays here on Minnesota. Moving on to Sacramento, so we have De'Aaron Fox questionable. We all know what happens when Fox is out. Davion Mitchell becomes chalk, and he just absolutely sucks. But yeah, like Davion, if Fox is out, assuming Davion does start. Sabonis, I think, is solid. I think I prefer Jokic on the other side of this game. But yeah, Sabonis has been on another level of late. So yeah, like Sabonis there up at the top. Fox at 8.5, I think, is priced right. Keegan Murray is a guy I really like here at 5.6. He's been playing huge minutes of late. So, like Keegan there, I think he's very solid. Malik Monk, we know the drill with him. Should play around 30 minutes, has a ceiling off the bench. I don't know what happened this game. He just, I didn't even see him on the bench. He just didn't come back. So, that's a bit concerning, but I don't know what happened. But yeah, assuming he gets his 30 minutes, I think he's solid. Kevin Huerter, just strictly tournament only for me. He played huge minutes. If any of you guys saw what happened with Monk that last game, because I didn't even see him on the bench. I was watching the game. He just, never came back, but yeah, Harrison Barnes, not going to play him, and yeah, just keep an eye on Fox, keep an eye on what they do with starting lineup, but yeah, Davion. We all know how Davion chalk goes. We do. Moving on to Denver, love Jokic here up at the top, going up against Sacramento. I think he's one of the best spin ups on the slate if you're paying up all the way up at the top. I think Jamal Murray is too cheap at 7.8K as well. Sacramento, they play fast. Like the spot here for him. MPJ, Aaron Gordon, they're both just there for me. MPJ has ceiling. Not going to prioritize either of them. Not going to play much else here. All right, last game of the night. Lakers at Clippers. Tough matchup here. 80, I'm always going to prefer to LeBron James. He could feast here going up against Zubac. So, definitely some interest here in AD. Don't love LeBron. Everyone else is priced up. Don't love much. We know what to do if one or both are out. Then we're prioritizing D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, those type guys. The bigs like Jackson Hayes, because Wood's out, right? We know what to do there. So they're going to play. They're always on the injury report. Now moving on to probably one of my favorite teams to target in a really good spot here going up against the Lakers. I mean, how do you not absolutely love Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, especially James Harden in this spot going up against the Lakers? I really like both the Clippers guys here. I think Norm Powell really stands out to me at 4.8. I really like him. Zubac off his limit. They're probably going to need him out there. I have interest in him at 5.6K. Terrence Mann going to have to play a ton of minutes. I think he's a solid value play. You're going to see some Amir Coffey in the rotation. I'm not going to go there. I think I'd rather just play Terrence Mann. But yeah, this team definitely looks really solid. Westbrook should play around 20 minutes. I don't think they're really going to go small here up against the Lakers. So not a ton of interest in him. I think I'd rather just play Norm Powell. So that's going to wrap it up for the slate. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.